Alright, so I'm back with the Trail 110, and my title paperwork has been sent off. I've just been kind of looking it over, seeing what it needs, and assuming I get the title, I can make one big order instead of a bunch of little ones. Right now it runs pretty good, but it's got rough shifting, which, doing my research, I found that the shift drum stopper has a tendency to break or come loose. So I've already had the cover off last night, and I didn't have an impact driver to remove the there's some screws on the clutch drum that I couldn't get out, so I ran out today, picked up an impact driver, so hopefully I can get those out, get the clutch off. But it's a tight space, but just looking in there, it looks like the shift drum stopper is broken, so I'm going to take the clutch off and the primary gear off, and just look for sure and see what all I need in there. So I'll bring you back when I get this cover off again. Alright, so the clutch cover is off, and the shift drum stopper, you can kind of see it, it's behind this big gear, so you got to get the clutch off. So this arm, this pulls off, and then you can pull this arm off. It's connected to the shift shaft, and this will come off with it. Actually, pull this off first with the bearing, that's fine, and then you can pull this off, and then you got to get these screws out. And I was having a hell of a time because I didn't have my impact driver with me, it's at work, and I was just shattering Phillips driver bits. I think I went through about 5 of them before I gave up, so that's what I got to get off next. Alright, so one screw came out okay with the impact driver. The other one did that on a brand new bit. So, and the end was still broken off in the screw, so I had to go a little bit medieval on it with the Dremel wheel. But with the slot cut in it, I was able to put just a slotted bit in my impact driver. It came out no problem. I nicked this aluminum part of the clutch, but I think it'll survive, so at least it'll come off. So there's a view of the clutch nut. There's a lock washer with a tab you'll have to bend out of place, and you need a socket. I made one a while ago out of a 20mm socket, and using a Dremel tool I cut the 4 little tabs on it. And if you were doing these engines like every day, I'd probably buy the tool, but I've had to use this like twice before, so I think it'll serve me well for how much I have to use it. So for no other reason than I have the clutch off, I want to take it apart and just inspect the plates, because I do plan to make a mass order, so if it needs clutch plates I just want to order it all at the same time. I've already got the snap ring started to come out of the drum. I just used this, and as you saw, everything kind of springed apart. So I'm going to pull the plates out, keep them all in the same order, and inspect them. Alright, so everything in the clutch looked okay. Like I say, the bike only, well, the odometer only says 7,900 kilometers, so, and I believe it, just the way the motor sounds. But yeah, that's my shifting problem. It's supposed to come out a little bit further and have a little roller on the end, and it's supposed to engage with the shift drum here. As you see, not only has it broken off, but it's jumped out of the spring. That part of the spring is supposed to be in that little notch there, so I have to replace that. Hopefully, it looks like this cover has been off before I was here, so hopefully the piece that broke off got picked out by whoever saw it, and then they decided to pass the bike along, or it's gone through the other side and it's stuck to the flywheel magnet. But it's not anywhere in this cover, and just looking through, there's little holes where the oil goes through the case and into the kind of gear case, and I don't see it there. So alright, so that's the new shift drum stopper. Here's the old one. So see, there was quite a bit missing. I couldn't see it in any of these passageways underneath, so I don't think it's rolling around in the crankcase. So I'm in neutral right now. First, second, oh, almost third. Helps if it's running. There we go, third, and fourth. Alright, so I got the shift drum stopper back in. Now I'm looking into the carb. So this isn't the original carb, this is one I had kicking around. Can't remember what I ordered it for, but it was around and it fit. But it doesn't have the right fuel inlet, because on these bikes the fuel petcock is built into the float bowl. So this one doesn't have it. And this carb is definitely not jetted correctly, so I'm gonna take the carb I got from one of the parts bikes and see what the jets are like, and try putting it on here and see if it runs any better, because it runs, but it's still got a bog. Alright, so the inside of this carb doesn't look too bad. Definitely needs a clean, but it's definitely better than the carb that originally came on the CT110. Which, the reason I'm not using that one is because of all the pitting. It pitted the needle seat so bad that it won't seal, and it's not replaceable on that carb. Like the needle seat, a little, you can see it in the brass piece in there. It's part of the carburetor body, so I can't fix it. I tried polishing it, but it still won't seal, so it's kind of a lost cause, but hopefully I can clean this one up and use it.
Doesn't look too bad. Seat looks okay too. How does that look? Oh, I can't see right through it, so.
So I was just cleaning out these idle jets. This one, which was in this parts carb, is a 32, and this is in the original carb. It's a 38, and it's clean, so I'm going to use that. Both the main jets were the same size, 78, so this one's nice and clean. I've already gone through it, so I'm going to use that one with this 38 idle jet, and hopefully it'll run pretty good. I guess we'll see.
It's way too big of a screwdriver for this, but who cares, it works. Kind of. We'll give that a whip.
So I was just about to put this back on the bike when I realized there's supposed to be another nipple there. So I'm thinking I can take this petcock off and use this one from the original float bowl and make something work. It's pretty close to me. Point it forward because that's original for this bike, and you can get carbs certain years going either way with the nipples either facing that way or that way, and you can just unscrew the petcock and flip it around and have it correct for whatever your year is. I believe 1980 they pointed towards the front of the bike, and 1983 they pointed towards the rear, but I'm no expert. So it runs all right, but it still bogs if I pin it wide open, even in more than half throttle, so I think I'm going to have to look into jetting. But more importantly, I get all gears nicely. First, second, third, and fourth. Third, second, and first, and back to neutral. So, I think that's all I'm going to do on this thing for now. I'm going to look into jetting, and I have to do some electrical work because it's not charging properly. But that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Alright, so this is the new project. It claims it's a 74 ST90. I have about 75% of it, being generous. And I was kind of bumbling around with the wiring, and I got it to spark, but there is no threads left in the plug hole. So I can get it to cough and shoot the plug out of the cylinder, but that's about it. But I always wanted one of these, and I finally got one for half decent price, and hopefully we're going to build something out of it.